Um, hey guys, I'm super pumped. This month has been so awesome. Who freaking loves this promotion? This promotion is life. It's literally the best thing they've come out with for business builder kits. There are a couple of quick reminders. Obviously, green carpet is this week starting. Well, actually, happening on. Let me make sure. That it starts on Friday, Saturday. And so on Saturday, they're going to be releasing a new product, which is super exciting. I think he said, I don't know if they are actually like going to have it ready, but they're going to tell us what it is, which I'm super excited about. And I think it's going to be keto, but that's just strictly a guess. As he did say, we were coming out with a lot of keto products. And so make sure you tune into that. Stay tuned in, like put on your notifications for anybody going live. That's going to be there, and make sure you get plugged into that so you're not late to the party. And so there's a couple things I want to talk about. Number one is making sure we are posting consistently. Like literally, you guys, I can't even tell you, I had this happen to me. I was posting about the cleanse, and I basically was messaging this girl, and she was like not responding to me about the cleanse. Okay. And then the other day in my story, I like put up a picture of my own results with the cleanse, and she freaking messaged me and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've been so busy. And, you know, I need 4 million excuses that people come up with for not getting back to you and just straight up ignoring you. And the cool thing about it is that when we post consistently, every single time we post, we remind those people. Okay. So it's like the first time they might think like, oh yeah, that's cool. And the second time they might be like, I really need to look into that. And then the third time they might think, okay, tomorrow I'm going to message her. And then the fourth time they might say, okay, screw it. I'm just going to message her now. And then they message us, and then they're like, get chicken feet, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then if we keep posting, you guys, the people who are interested, I promise you, will eventually purchase. Okay. I promise. So that's just a big reminder. I mean, I know we all know that how important posting consistently is, but I can't stress it enough. And just being consistent with all the other things that we talk about, right? All the other things that we talk about, which is adding to your network, making sure that you are following up, make sure you're messaging, make sure that you are, adding to your network, following up, posting, making sure you're using your products and you're posting about that. Those are all the things that we should be doing. Okay, if you guys are not doing host to post for new DTs, it's bad news bears for you, because hosting a post for not just customers, but also doing new DTs, it is going to change the game for you. So instead of just saying, you know, hey, my friend Kelsey is looking for 5 models. If they say, hey, my friend Kelsey is looking for, 5 people who want to make $300 to $500 a month over the summer, or whatever you want, however you want to word it. There's something on the team page about it, and there's scripts you can use. Definitely do that. Okay. Like, definitely do it at least 20 times, at least, before you judge if hosting a post works for you. Okay. Because I was one of those people. I was like, host a post doesn't work. And I did it like 5 times. And then I kept going and I kept going. And then guess what? It worked. Like it really does work if you keep doing it. Let's also talk about how you enroll. Okay. That was something that I really wanted to focus on today, because I think we get so caught up in like setting these huge goals, right? And how we need to start enrolling customers. The first thing I will say is there is power in a quick response. Okay. And I used to be that person that was like, I'll get to them when I can, blah, blah, blah. But people's excitement wears off. Okay. And if you can get to them, the sooner the better, because you don't want them to think, oh, well, whatever. And not that it's the end of the world, but if you should be able to sign people in a day. If you expect to sign them in like 3 days and have to follow up with them and have to do this, then that's what's going to happen. Okay. But if you go into the conversation being like, yeah, this person signed, I'm expecting them to sign, they're going to be like, oh, okay, I guess I should sign. You know, it's just like when you set up a doctor's appointment, you just keep setting up the next doctor's appointment because that's what they expect. Okay. But if you go into that conversation, do it that way. And just expect to do that, making sure your mindset is right when it comes to enrolling customers. You guys, you're literally only limiting yourself. And the same thing with DTs. I promise if you had Mark or Cami message you and ask you, hey, can you enroll 3 distributors by the end of next week? You would all do it. You would all do it. Okay. If they were like, I know you can do this. You just need to assign 3 DTs and you know, you're gonna freaking rock the business. And you would do it. Like there would be no question because you would just bust your butt until it happens. But a lot of times we limit ourselves and we say, oh, well, we only signed 2 distributors last month. I don't want to sound dumb and set my goals for 4 distributors this month. Just go do it. Like if you have something on your heart, freaking just do it. Just do it because you're never going to regret working hard. I always say that. You're never going to regret working hard to get those things done. You're always going to be proud of yourself after you accomplish those things. Okay? So having that mindset, having the mindset that I'm going to do what it takes no matter what it takes. Okay? That's a really important thing. When it comes to building a business, you guys, what you can expect is that it's going to be hard. Okay? It's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard, but it's going to be worth it. Like there are going to be moments when you're like, this is horrible. And then there's going to be moments when you say, I freaking love this. But whatever you focus on is going to expand. Okay, so focus on the good things. Focus on that we get the freaking opportunity to do this. Focus on what if this business wasn't a thing? You would have to be going back to corporate. You couldn't even have the option in your head, the hope in your head that at some point you won't have to be working a corporate job. At some point, whenever you have kids, you won't even have to worry about if you can stay at home with them. But you wouldn't have those options or that hope if it wasn't for this business. Okay? And this business is run with some freaking amazing people. And you should be proud that this is what we're able to put our name on. And share that with everybody because the amount of love that like our corporate team has for us and the amount of love that I have for you guys it's literally not even describable. Like I just woke up this morning and I was like, how is this my life? Like this is literally my life. Like how did this even happen? I don't know. But all I know is that you guys have exactly what it takes for all of you guys to be making $10,000 a month. I'm like not even exaggerating when it comes to that. But you have to have the mindset to have what it takes and realize that you have what it takes. That literally the only thing that is stopping you is you. You are your biggest obstacle. So if you just get out of your way and you do the work, I promise that this business will come to you. But we get so caught in our heads about how it's going to happen and we forget to just do it. Stop figuring out how it's going to happen. God will figure that part out. Just do it. Just do the work. Okay? Do it day in and day out and stop looking at the scoreboard. This is the best analogy I can give you. I thought of this tonight when I was like watching Mac run. Mac is my daughter. She's so freaking competitive, you guys. She will lay out on the floor when she loses a race up the stairs. Up the freaking stairs, you guys, okay? But we were riding our bikes or she was riding her bike and Deuce is like pedaling this little thing. And I was like pushing him and we were kind of behind her. But she just kept slowing down because she kept looking back. And she kept looking back to see how much closer we were to her. And I freaking beat her. And I was like, listen, I'm beating you because you know why? You kept looking back. You do not win a race by looking back. You do not win a race by looking back. You win the race by looking at where you're going. And if you take your focus off that, it's only going to slow you down. And that is the same thing that happens in this business, you guys. We say, oh, well, that was there was 1 month I signed like 6 distributors, but that was a fluke because this promotion was going on or that promotion was going on. And I really don't sign distributors like that. Do you know what that's doing? That's looking back. That's looking back. Do you know what it's doing and saying, oh, well, I signed 9 customers last month and that was a lot for me. Where are you looking? Look on where you're going. Stop worrying about where you've been, where you came from, what happened last month, what happened, 4 months ago, and focus on where you want to go. Okay? If you ran any type of track, they'll tell you the same thing. All you need to focus on is the finish line. That's all you need to focus on. All you focus on where you're going. And the same is true in business. And so I don't want you to focus on where anybody else is going, where you have been, but I want you to focus on where you want to go and figure that out. If you don't know, figure that out. It's very important that you understand that this is something where you have the ability to control your own paycheck. This is not about putting the blame on X person or Y person or my team quit or I have somebody that left or whatever. That happens. And that's not a reflection of you. Okay. That has nothing to do with you. Are there lessons to be learned in that? Absolutely. But does that mean you're a bad leader? Absolutely not. Okay. That person quit on themselves or they quit on whatever it was, their hope, their dream, their vision. Okay. Because when people come into this, they have a goal of where they want to go. And when they quit on that. They don't quit on you. So stop being so hard on yourself, everybody, when you can't make everybody successful. It's not your job. Your job is to lead and to show them it can be done. And I guarantee you guys, and I don't say this out of like any type of like cockiness, but like I guarantee that none of you guys would feel like you could get to triple diamond if I didn't get to triple diamond. Some of you might, but probably not most of you. And the reason I say that is not because I think I'm cool that I got to triple diamond, but I know that I would never thought that I could get to ambassador as much as I believe that I can get to ambassador if Aaron didn't. Okay. And so inspire your team like that. If you want to be a leader, just freaking do it. Just go diamond, just go double, go triple. Okay. And just keep doing those things. Focus on where you want to go. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be by the end of 2018? Where do you want to be? What do you want your freaking name tag to be at conference next year? What do you want that thing to say? And draw it. Freaking draw a picture of yourself with a lanyard around your neck and freaking put it out there and envision it and think about how that thing is going to make you feel. When you pick up that lanyard, Kayla, and it says triple, and you're like, yep, this is how it's going to feel. It's how it's going to feel like I earned this. And it's going to feel like I've been through some shit, but you know what? That's what got me here. That's what got me here. And that's why I'm better for it. And so you have to realize that like all of the times, and I've already written a letter to myself for when I go press. I've already written that letter. I already know how it's going to feel. I've felt it already. Okay. And so write a letter to yourself about how you're going to feel. Think about it. Literally imagine whatever number income you want on your check. Imagine how it's going to feel when you open up the It Works email and it says, the do not reply at itworks.com. And it says, It Works has just deposited X number of dollars into your pay portal. What is that X for you? What is it? Write yourself a check. If you guys haven't heard the story of Lisa Nichols, she wrote herself a check every month. Every month she wrote herself and mailed herself a check to the bank and just asked them to deposit it. Every month, part of her check. Every month into the separate account. Every month. And I think she said like 10 years later, she went and checked it because she would add to that each month. So she would deposit more and more and more each month. And she went and checked it and she had like $68,000. And she was like, no, I think you have the wrong account. And they were like, she was like, I'm Lisa L. Nichols. And they were like, no, this is your account. Like you're, and she would write it and it would say, to fund my dream. Every month. That's what it said. And they would like, as she walked into the bank and she like told her her name, they're like, you're the Fund My Dream lady. Because they would always get these checks, the tellers. And it's crazy because if you keep investing, and it doesn't have to be money, maybe yours looks like time. If you keep investing your time into this business and you know where you're going to go, it will happen. It will happen. And none of our businesses are perfect. I'm not sitting on this Zoom today telling you, hey, guess what? I've worked my business consistently every day for 3.5 years. And there's never not been one day where I didn't message people or I didn't add to my network. And you know what? Maybe I'm not worthy to be a triple because maybe there were those couple of days that I didn't add or I didn't message or I didn't do this or I had a shitty day or you know what? I sucked. Okay. Because I've had all of those days and I'm still a triple. And you can too. Just because you've had bad days doesn't mean you can't be a triple or you're not worthy of diamond or you're not worthy of emerald or double. Okay? It just means that you have to get back on the freaking horse. Stop putting the pressure on yourself for perfect. It doesn't exist. And you'll drive yourself batshit. I'm telling you, you will drive yourself so freaking crazy if you have that expectation. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a high standard of yourself. You have to raise your standards of what you want to be and who you want to be. Absolutely. But does that mean you're going to meet those standards every day? Nope. Because if you do, you've set them way too low. Okay. And so you should want to push yourself. And there should be those days where it hurts and it stings. There should be those days. But you're going to learn so much about yourself. And you're going to be so much better for it. Because if I kept hitting goal after goal after goal after time after time after time, how freaking boring would that be? Like, if I don't ever feel strained, that sucks. If I don't ever feel like I need to push for this, you're not going to feel accomplished. Okay? Know that, and we literally just talked about this at church. And I want to read you some of the notes that I took. Hold up. Here we go. Disappointment is inevitable. I'm going to type these for you guys. Disappointment is inevitable, but hopelessness is a choice. Good. Isn't that so freaking good? My pastor said that and I was like, preach, like literally in church, I like rose both my hands up. Okay, so disappointment is inevitable, but hopelessness is a choice. He also said life's success isn't dependent upon what happens to us, but it is dependent upon how we respond to it. Let's see what else he said. It was so good. Okay. Showing the way out of a bad situation is God's responsibility, but taking the way out is yours. Isn't that so good, you guys? So the funny example that he had, he was like, you know, in the Bible, it talks about like believers and non-believers and you know how you shouldn't like marry a non-believer and all this stuff. But he was saying like, and you know good and well that Tasha over here is not good for you, right? And God is showing you this person over here, but you still going back over here. And he was like, but and then you're like, okay, well, Tasha's not calling me. But the real test is when you get that call, if you're going to take the way out that he gave you. And so it's so true, though. A lot of times, like, we say, like, God's going to take me out of this or bring me out of this, or I'm going to get through this difficult situation. But we're presented with this opportunity that gets us out, right? And I always talk about it, blocking your own blessing, right? Like, we're shown this way out. And maybe it's not just for the business. Maybe it's showing it's showing your way out of the unhealthy relationship that you're in. Maybe it's showing your way out of a job. Maybe it's whatever. But it's our responsibility to take that door. Okay. And I went live about it a couple of, I don't know, like last week or something, when I was talking about the guy who on our team page, the guy who was on top of a house, and there was like a big flood coming in, and he was like, hey, well, there was a guy passing through in a boat, and he was like, hey, do you want to hop on my boat and I'll help you? And he was like, no, I'm good. God's got me. And then the next guy came and he was on a raft, and then he was like, hey, you want to jump on my raft? Like, and he's like, no, I'm good. Like, God's got me. He's going to save me. And then the next guy came in a plane, and he was like pulling down the little ladder, and he was like, I got you. Like, come help. He was like, no, God's got me. I got it. And then the dude died, and he went to heaven. He was like, God, I thought you got me. He was like, I sent you a boat. I sent you a raft, and I sent you a helicopter. I got to get you 3 times, but you didn't want to take it. And so sometimes the way that God is trying to help us in this business is not what we expect it to look like. It can be something very practical, but we're choosing to ignore it. And it might be something that's always been in front of us, but we have to choose to see that. Okay. And one thing he said is that everything that glitters is not gold. And I love that. And so we have to remember that a lot of times there's, maybe this new shiny thing that we have, or this thing that we are saying, oh, well, this is new and it's glittery and this and that. And like this, maybe this is this new person on our chart, or maybe it's this new relationship that we have, but not all of it is always gold, right? We have to go and we have to take some time and realize, like, there's so much more under the surface than just the glitter. And what we also have to realize is that when we feel disappointed, it's because there's some sense of unmet expectations. Okay. So when we feel disappointed in ourselves, when we feel disappointed in the results, when we feel disappointed in people on our team, it's because maybe we have unmet expectations, right? But maybe we need to stop expecting so much, because a lot of us expect without communicating. Let me repeat that. A lot of us expect without communication. And if you're not clear with your communication, when it comes to what you expect of people, you're setting yourself and that other person up for failure. Okay. So think about these things. I don't even know how, you guys, this is what happens on the Zooms. Like, I literally had no notes on anything that I just talked about besides my church notes, which I didn't even mean to pull into this, but this is what happens. So anyways, just make sure you guys are communicating with your new DTs, with your upline, whoever it is, what those expectations are, because we all have to communicate what those expectations are if we want to avoid some of those disappointments. And not to say you won't be disappointed, even if you do communicate it clearly, but just realize that you have to communicate what those expectations are. Okay. Let me see if I covered everything that was in my notes. Oh, the last thing I want to talk about is making sure you find what fits in your schedule for you. Okay. And sometimes it's going to look different every day, but just making sure you get those things done. This business is going to be done within like spare 5 to 10 minute increments and not sitting down for 2 hours. Okay. I promise you, the power of what can happen in 10 to 15 minutes is unbelievable. Okay. If you just combine those 15 minutes every single day, if you combine those 10 minutes that you have, if you're early to work, if you finish your lunch early, whatever it is, make sure that you are taking that time. Do not let that time just be dedicated to the scroll hole. Oh, I needed to tell you guys this. Okay. The scroll hole. If you get caught in it, let me tell you a good way to get caught in it. Okay. So one thing I've been doing really well on Facebook. Can you just wait 5 minutes? Just 5 minutes. I'll be done. Okay. So if you go to this and you click this part and you scroll down and you got to click see more on Facebook. And if you keep scrolling, there's one that says feeds. Okay. Everybody, if you have your phone up, do it now. Nod your head if you can find it. Okay. Then click the one that says most recent. Okay. And you click that one, your newsfeed is going to literally look like a whole different newsfeed. And the reason this is really cool is because you're seeing like the people who have posted or commented on a post or shared a post most recently, and you're going to be like, holy crap, who are these people? I haven't seen these people on my newsfeed in like 12 years. And it's because they've been bumped down in your algorithm. And this way it'll show you all these new people. Okay. And I've been finding like thousands of people that I didn't even know existed. And it's going to be so helpful for you to start adding your hundreds list. Start over. If you're feeling freaking frustrated about your potentials, start over. Just get a new hundreds list. Go through this and unfollow people that are annoying and are sharing random cat videos, and go find some new people and clean up your news feed. Okay. And do it that way. So that's been super, super helpful for me. Recently, and then sharing other people's stories on my Instagram story has been really helpful. Always using new features on Instagram, like they have the music thing. You can add music to your stories now. You also have the question option now, where if you scroll up, it's like people can type in a question now. And it's cool to just start with like, ask me anything, and people will ask you like the most random things, and then you can type up your response and then post it to your story so people can go back and see your answer. So there's a lot of cool things that Instagram's doing. Just play with it. Follow people who, are really good on Instagram, or some top leaders that have Instagram, and you'll see them use all the features, and then you can kind of play with it and figure it out. But just make sure, if you guys have anything that you need, make sure that you ask. And I'd be more than happy to help you with anything. You guys are crushing July. Like, this is the best we've ever freaking done in the summer. And I'm just so proud of you guys. Just keep going, because we're about to set freaking records this month. I'm not even kidding. So I appreciate you guys hopping on, and I love you guys, and keep killing it. Bye, guys.